Well, you know what? Being from Prince Edward Island, Amy is from Collingwood, a ski town. This right here is Canada. It's Canada. Yeah, and everybody's having a meltdown. Oh my God, I hate this. I heard them say it again today on the radio. A generational storm. Are you kidding me? I lived in Montreal, Quebec, when they had the ice storm. That was a generational storm. That was, I've never seen anything like that in my entire life. Like, I remember I was a kid, 20 years old, maybe 21, and I was a caretaker in Montreal. Adeline, stop. I was a caretaker in Montreal. I was a caretaker in Montreal, and I remember Jamie Smith, who was the trainer of Sintra this year for the Gold Cup. Him and my brother Mark McDonald, lived in an apartment on the basement level of an apartment building on Mountain Sites. I think it was called Mountain Sites, Montreal, right across from Blue Bonnets. That's where a lot of the caretakers lived in there. And we were on the basement level, but in the basement, there was a laundry room. So there was 3 or 4 washers and dryers, and the fuse box was there. It was maybe a 6-foot step down, like there were steps. It was 6 feet to the basement. I remember during the ice storm, there was trees down everywhere. The army was called in to cut them all down. The racetrack was closed. Nothing was open. The racetrack was a shelter at the time. The entire grandstand was a shelter. And I remember we get home and the police were there. And we were like, what's going on? Oh, you guys live here? Yeah, you can't stay here. What are you talking about? We walked in and the entire basement, all 6 feet, was full of water. And it was steaming. The fuse boxes were underneath that water. So I think we went to Mike's. I'm not sure what happened actually. Now that was pumped out and dissipated quite quickly. We were back in, I think, in a day or two. I don't actually remember leaving. But it was, you couldn't imagine. I couldn't growing up. And I'm from Prince Edward Island, where there was feet and feet. Multiple times in my life did we have to jump out the second-story window to dig out the front door of our house. That was common after a big snowstorm. When the big snowstorm was coming, bring the shovels in, because you're jumping out the second-story window. That happened all the time. And that wasn't generational. The ice storm was what we're experiencing right now. Come on.
It's a regular storm.
Yeah, it is a stormy day. And the radios and the news and everybody, oh, this massive ice Arctic storm is coming. It's minus 12. Raced my whole life in the winter in colder temperatures than this. My God, what is this civilization turning into? Society's turned into, I don't even know. But this is far from generational, I can tell you that. Anyway, I've wasted 3 minutes giving you a story of Montreal and, some of the stuff we went through. Shh, Ollie, stop. I had a message from somebody in Chicago today, Illinois today, telling me, oh, it's -7 Fahrenheit. I don't know how cold that is. It's cold. But it's like, come on. You know who you are, Brian. I'll call you out. Oh my God, it's -7 Fahrenheit. I'm going to die. You've lived there your whole life. I'm sure Google it, will you?
I am.
Find out what -7 is. I have no idea. I can tell you right here, it's -12 before the windshield. Windshield, yeah. For the wind chill. Before the wind chill, which makes it -20-ish around there. But is it generational? Oh my God. What a bunch of wimps.
It's -21.
-21. There you go, Brian. Your weather in Illinois is identical to the weather right here, right now.
Not quite.
I guess the wind chill.
-21.
Yeah, but the wind chills. It's cold enough. When it gets that cold, it's all the same. Generation, a bunch of wimps. Anyway, we're enjoying a snowy day here in Ontario. We're heading to the mall. A ton of people asking, Anthony, you promised you would tell us what this big announcement was. I don't see the video. Where's the video? What's the announcement? What's going on? It's simple. We're always trying to be innovative, and we locked horns with probably one of the most innovative human beings on planet Earth in David Reed of Preferred Equine. And what I had called David and said, you guys aren't doing a sale over the holidays. You got the tatter sales, the mixed sale, the Meadowlands mixed sale coming up January 16th, which we will be attending. You're likely not going to have a sale in between, and if you do, fine, but I know you're asking yourself the same questions. What if we had a sale? We always don't. Now, this isn't, and Dave didn't know this, but lots of people don't know this either. This is our little thing. We have our own, obviously, sale board that's always open and always buying and selling shares for in-house for our clients. We allow everybody to do that, and it's worked well. But what would happen if we opened up an auction to the outside world? Not in-house, that's ours, but had an auction, a fractional auction. Never been done before that I'm aware of. I'm sure maybe in the thoroughbred world or maybe in another country. Not that I'm aware of. I've never heard of, witnessed, or seen any sort of fractional sale in my life. I don't think they've ever existed. Now, there are some logistics that have to be worked out, and that's why I was a little slow bringing you this video. We're still working on a few things, because if we allowed everybody just to put singular shares in, which was proposed, do the math. One client alone told me they may have upwards of 200 to 300 shares to put up for sale just to see what happens. And they had asked a very, very good question. The same thing we did 3 years ago, a little bit different, was can I not bundle shares together? 1 share of Crantini, 2 shares of LD's Patrick, 3 shares of Good As Him, another couple of shares of a yearling or 2. I said, well, it's not my site. I can't say that. They told me they were singular, but I'll ask. So we opened up another thread. Dave, would it be possible to bundle these shares together? He said, yes, as long as it was clear. And these are all no reserve auctions. So I'm going to be as clear as I can. Please pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. When you send the form, you'll all get forms tomorrow. When you send your form in to Kelly, who will then work with Dave to compile this on the preferred online auction platform, you are responsible for tending to your shares. So if you start the bidding of that lot, whether it be 1 share, or that bundle, whether it be 2 or more shares, when you start that starting bid process, you are responsible to tend to it. So if you start the bidding of any bundle at $3,000 for any number of shares, and you know that you want 4,000 or more for it, it's up to you to get from 3,000 to 4,000. That won't be on TheStable, and that will not be on Preferred Equine. So I need everybody to be abundantly clear. If you have 1 or 2 shares to throw up, just throw them up singularly. Put a starting reserve bid, no reserve, a starting bid on the horse. It can't be lower than $50, and you are in charge of it. So what I proposed originally was just put fair market value pricing on them. But when I put a horse on the auction block at Preferred, I always start them low and then people bid. Especially keep in mind, this isn't just us. This is not just TheStable.ca and their clients. This will be open to the world. So we generally start them lower, right? Start them at $4,000 or $5,000 for a whole horse, which would be $50. And they'll go up in increments of 5. After they get over $50,000 worth, which is $500 a share, they would go up by increments of 10, I believe. And this will all be outlined very clearly tomorrow with your form. But you will be the stewards of your auction. So if you just start the horse on what you want for it and see if it sells or goes for more, fine. Don't have to worry about a thing. But if you start them low and they sell lower than you want, that's on you. The share's gone. Just so you know. For those of you thinking to yourself, how would the bundles work? It's not exactly, kind of how we did the groups 3 years ago. There was a number of shares of horses in each group, and it made it interesting. But they weren't whole shares, and it made it hard to get rid of them. These are whole shares. So theoretically, if Amy wanted to sell 2 shares of Crantini and 1 share of Carter Michael Dio and 3 shares of, who's a yearling, Easy in the Turns, and put in 4 shares of Drebin in there, then they price them all out. That will be up to you to price them all out also. How much are all those shares worth? Let's say they're worth $5,000. Let's just use a round number, like $5,000. Okay, you can start them at $5,000 and see what happens, or you can start them at $2,000, $3,000, and see if people bid on them. But there's no reserves allowed. That's the system. That's their system on these. They will not put reserves on them for our sale. That sale, I guess it's important to say, will take place next Thursday. What are you smiling about? Addie Bear. What a Sleeposaurus Rex. Are you faking? Oh, you weren't faking, you little turkey. Do you want to come in with me right now? Let's go through Indigo. We'll stop at Starbucks and go through Indigo. Sure. I mean, no.
I need a book.
I think this is how every spoiled kid turns out. This is how every spoiled kid turns out. I guess I'm guilty. Anyway, it's Christmas.
They're not going in.
It's Christmas.
We can't get the door.
Oh, you can't? No, that's not my fault. That was that person's
Well,
fault.
don't look here then.
I'm not. I'll back right into where I was, honey. Give everybody a little look of the winter one, the jam-packed parking lot here at Stone Road Mall. Oh, it's saying I'm too close. At Stone Road Mall, it's full. Honey, I still have to get around this. That's behind us. That's kind of the rules. Can't run into cars. They frown upon that. So, with that, so then the sale will conclude next Thursday. Or it will start next Thursday. Now, depending on the amount of entries, which I suspect will be a lot, it will likely start, I guess, 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, noon. I don't know. That'll be up to Dave Reed. And it will continue throughout the day. Now, this sale will be open to everybody. Everybody on planet Earth. And you can put whatever shares you want in. You can put whatever starting price you want. But I am going to say it again. I need everybody to understand. When you put your starting price in, it's up to you after that. Stable will not be protecting them. Preferred Equine will not be putting a reserve on them. It will be up to you to do that. What I mean by that is you'll simply sign up. If you want to start the horse at $50 a share and you really want $140, it will be up to you to bid the horse up. And for everybody out there saying, oh, that's frowned upon. That's not, everybody does it. Stop. So, with that, I am going to let you guys go. That was the exciting news. One, it's Christmas. Two, we're at the mall. Amy's got a smile on her face again. She's going to the mall on the 23rd. Everybody's happy. Ollie's here. He's being a little brat about wearing jeans, but that's okay. He's going to learn to wear them.
Learn to wear them?
Yes, you will.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you will.
If they see me in public wearing jeans, then that's the first time.
Remember when your brakes aren't very good when I go and you keep talking. It makes me think that the brakes on your jaw are not good, and I got to get them checked. Maybe the brake pads in your jaw are not good. Anyway, everybody's having a great time. It is the 23rd of December. We're heading into the mall. Going to do a little shopping. We're going to do a little shopping, and I wanted to bring everybody the news. So a lot. This is the first time ever. We love being the first time evers whenever we can. And this is the first time there's ever been a fractional sale. It will be cool. And I wanted to do it over the holidays because, truthfully speaking, that's when everybody's home. I want everybody to enjoy this, everybody to have a good time. Yes, the races are canceled at Mohawk. That sucks. But they're still on for Monday, and they will be racing on Monday. Lots of racing coming up, lots going on. But first and foremost, enjoy the season. Enjoy Christmas. I hope everybody has a Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. Take care. We'll talk soon. Merry Christmas, everybody.